Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am in my van. I'm in Beaverton, Oregon. I'm about to go into Starbucks and get some coffee, some evening coffee. Um, I used to be afraid to drink coffee after in the afternoon or anytime after 12, but I got a cup of coffee, actually Americano last night, some espresso, about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I was drinking coffee. My energy was awesome. I felt so good, and I was so focused. I was doing a bunch of like laptop work and like journaling, and I totally enjoyed it. And on top of it all, I went to bed and I fell asleep, and I had a good night's rest. I feel I slept good because I had some dreams, so I know I was in a deep sleep. But that kind of just made me think that I don't have to be fearful, or have this paradigm about, oh, I can't drink coffee because I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to do an all nighter. I'm going to be miserable the next day. Like, I used to think that, and maybe at one time in my life I was very sensitive to caffeine, but I've been sort of kind of ADD most of my life, and I don't like to say that label or give myself that label, but I I do have a hard time focusing for long periods of time. So um, caffeine does help that. It calms me down and helps me focus. Anyways, so I'm at Starbucks. I just want to share with you. I just was thinking, like, what should I talk about? But so I decided I will share with you my story as of what's going on lately, because I'm living in a van. Okay, this is where I've been living for over 3 months now, and I was very lost and confused. In the first like few weeks, it was very difficult for me, just kind of facing myself and dealing with just emotional disorders. Okay, I was going through some things emotionally and mentally that I had no one to blame, because all my life I was blaming people and not taking responsibility for my life. So I went through this growth phase. And I every day in this van is a growth phase. Just getting up in the morning, and that little strip of carpet there, that's usually where I roll out. I have a mattress that rolls out, but I fold it up every morning. I fold up my sleeping bag, my blankets, and I put everything in its place. I keep it organized in here. I am maintaining a like a professional lifestyle, if you would, um, because this this van life journey, uh, I didn't know what I didn't know where it was going to go. I knew that I would avoid paying rent, and I would have some freedom to travel. That was my first thoughts. It's like, okay, I can do that, and I'll adjust as the days go by. But it turned into being this like personal growth phase, because I went through some hard times, um, like with myself personally, but I got through them and I feel stronger now. I was very weak-minded. I was very quick to blame. Um, I I just thought differently when I began this journey, and today I think completely differently. Um, I think even better than I used to. I think more clearly, and I feel stronger. So whatever is going on, being in a van and readjusting to society and having a job, and you know convincing yourself that you're not living like a bum. You're not feeling like you're homeless, because it was kind of hard for me to return back to this and think, oh, I'm actually not going to a home. I'm not going to a house or an apartment. I like, this is it. When I come back to the van, this is it. This is where I'm staying. I'm gonna kill time and then go to bed, and then face the next day. So all these little challenges, and I have just learned so much about my life, and things are making so much sense to me, and it's just made me happier. Okay, that's what I really want to share with you, is that I'm more happy today, and I think van life had a lot to do with it. Just 3 months living in a van had a lot to do with it. The privacy, the solitude, the times of silence, like, getting through boredom, basically. There was a podcast I was listening to recently. They were talking about why kids today, they avoid boredom, by picking up their phone and just scrolling, just checking something on the phone or on the computer. We all have our own little things, like our little time fillers when there's that void of boredom, and we don't want to face that feeling of boredom. It's uncomfortable, but there's actually some secrets behind, just being still, and if you want to call it being bored, but if you just do nothing, there's a lot of secrets behind that act and the feelings that come from it. And you start getting clear on your mind starts kind of readjusting back to maybe its natural state, and so your life just makes sense. You start seeing people differently. You stop judging people. You stop feeling like you're so separate from everybody. But the truth is that we're actually all in this together. Human beings, we're all one. We're a part of the same energy that gives us life. It digests our food, it grows our nails, it grows our hair. Like that energy, we all have that same exact energy. So that's just a truth that I really grasped. I started to believe it. So I started seeing people differently. I started loving people more, and I started loving myself more. And I don't feel so attached to having rent, to a landlord and bills and all the other things. I remember feeling all these obligations or, these attachments to things. But living in a van is detaching really from society. But you can sort of reintroduce yourself, back into society, as long as you figure out how to live in a van and stay clean and shower and eat and use a bathroom and work out, read books, meditate, get a good night's rest. Like you figure out how to do all that. And so I don't even know where I'm going with this. I got distracted, but I'm just saying that once you can get to that point, then you can really transform your experience into like personal growth. You start discovering things about yourself, and it's really worth it because people spend their whole lives totally just doing what they are comfortable doing, but they're not happy with the result they're getting. People spend their lives doing that, and it's a sad way to live. The one life we have, it's a very special life. It's a gift. It's a gift from God. And if we're just wasting it, we're just saying, thanks, God. I'm just gonna do this routine life. I'm just gonna do what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna follow the masses. But thanks for this gift. Come on. How would that make you feel if someone that was their response when you gave them a gift? You put your love into that giving of that gift, and the person just is like, thanks, and they just set it off to the side. Okay, so it's really worth feeling the pain and the times of, like loneliness and times when it gets uncomfortable, it gets cold at night, or you gotta feel like you're an animal, like where am I gonna get my food today? You have to get to those mind states before the true inner self, starts revealing itself to you, and you're just like, wow, this is who I really am. I don't have to live my life wondering that inner question that says, who am I? Is this for me? Whatever it is you're doing in life, you probably often ask yourself, like, is this really for me? Am I where I'm supposed to be? Am I who I'm supposed to be with? Am I wearing a mask in society? Is my ego really just like speaking for me? Or am I really being myself? Am I exposing my genuine, authentic self? Okay, because when you do that, when you find your authentic self and you start exposing yourself to your friends and family, strangers, as just you being you. Okay, non-judgmental, not reactive, but rather, responsive and kind and giving and loving. When people see that in you, you activate the true self in them. And then they are just like, it is safe. It's safe to be myself because this guy's being himself. And that's the message you convey to people is, hey, you're safe around me, man, because we feel so unsafe in this world. And I think everybody understands why. Okay, we're glued to the freaking media and the bad news. We naturally love to gossip about the bad news, but you're instilling danger and terror in other people's minds, which is the work of the terrorists. But you're making people feel unsafe, and that's why this world feels so unsafe. But that's why it also feels so good when you see somebody doing an act of kindness or something. But all right, guys, I'm at about 11 minutes here, so I'm gonna cut it short. Thanks for listening. This is just stuff I think about, and just wanted to share it with you.